Hi, I'm Tiffany Angulo with Tiffany's Nail Babes. I'm an executive director with Color Street, and I am here today to show you how to create this beautiful piece of nail art using a Color Street overlay and a couple other strips of Color Street. So let's get right to the point. I'm going to move you down. Today we are using the sets Bandana Republic. And our two neon sets, we are using Shockwave and Kilowatt. And then I have Supercharged on my thumb already. So we are basically going to be creating this out of these three strips and the one that's already on my nail. Okay, so first off, what we're gonna do is, I know this seems the opposite of what everybody's ever told you, but we are going to leave this little protective layer on the front as it's gonna help our strip to not dry out. And what we're gonna do is we are going to take from the silver tab and we are going to pull the back part off, okay? Okay, so now if you are doing more than one nail out of one strip, you're gonna wanna go ahead and cut the strip in half before you do that. Okay, so next up, we're gonna take the two strips that we're cutting up and we are going to take the protective purple clear layer off. So the opposite of what we did with the first one. Okay, and now what we are gonna do is I am gonna be working from this side since my thumb is wider down here. And I'm gonna kind of mimic what I have over here. So I'm gonna start with the green and I'm just gonna cut, since it is already a little circle. This one is already rounded. I'm just gonna cut a little piece off. And then the best way to get these off the back is to kind of slide up underneath them with a rubber tipped cuticle pusher. And then you can pull that back right off just like that. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this upside down and I am going to put it right over these pieces that are on the nail, just like that, okay? So you can see now I have green flowers down there. Now, next up, the next strip is purple, which is what I already have on my nail. So I'm actually going to skip doing that color. And then the one after that is going to be pink. And it is actually a fairly large pink and it has a curve to it. Okay, so I need to kind of curve my strip and make sure it's long enough. Okay, so that should be long enough. Nice and curved pink. Might be a little wide for that, so I am going to trim that down just a little bit. So you're basically kind of eyeballing it to see that you're getting the right size. I'm going to get a hold of the strip. There we go. But definitely needed to make that a little bit thinner. Too thick. Okay, there we go. That should be good. Now, since I left some of this silver tab on, I did that on purpose so I could pull it off from that edge just to save me a little bit of time. Right? Okay. So I'm gonna put it on there and then I'm gonna kind of guide it to where I need it. If it hangs over the edge, that is totally okay. Totally okay, because we're going to be cutting it off anyway. So, can you kind of see that? Okay, so next up, I'm going to do the same thing with the green. And kind of give this a nice little rounded edge right there. And then this one is a little bit thicker, so I am going to come in and make this one tad bit thicker. Okay, and then again, same thing. I'm gonna use the cuticle pusher to kind of separate it from there. And then I'm going to place it down right on top of where I need it. Just kind of guide it to stick where I want it. Okay, see it? So that's really all I'm doing is I'm kind of cutting shapes that fit the shapes of the set. Now I'm gonna leave all of these little purples, just like on this one, all these little tiny flowers, I'm gonna leave them purple. So really all I'm gonna be doing is filling in these paisleys, and I'm gonna kind of just do them one at a time. So I'm gonna go through, and I am basically what I'm doing is I'm gonna cut a paisley little teardrop shape out of my pink strip. Just like that. So see, little teardrop shape, and then I'm going to peel that off the back. And again, I am going to flip that little sucker upside down, and I'm going to stick it right on down. So see how you can kind of see how it is coloring in? This strip does not need to be there, so peel that away. Okay, so the next one would be a green one, because I do want them to kind of alternate. So I'm gonna kind of have to pay attention to what I'm doing, but I already have a curve right here, so we're just gonna turn that right into a teardrop. Perfect. The one thing you do kind of need to pay attention to is all the little tiny pieces of polish that you will get on your fingers. Make sure none are sticking to your other nails and don't cure there. You do want to kind of try to be a little fast at this, okay? Because the nail polish will start to dry. And we don't want it to get to that point where it's too dry to put it on our nails. One of the things that can help give you a longer time if you're a little slower at this is to work in a really hot environment. So you know how when the nail polish is really hot, so say you were trying to put it on outside, it would kind of, that's fine. It would kind of like fold over on you and be all flimsy. So that's kind of one of the good things about the Color Street is if you wanted to give yourself more time to apply it and it not dry out, you can just make it a little bit hotter in the area that you're working. So that is one thing. Another way, and what I actually do is, because it's not really hot in here, I'm gonna hit it with a hairdryer right after I put it on. And that is actually gonna help it to like kind of warm up a little bit, so it'll be okay. I accidentally folded that over because it was too long, so I'm just gonna kind of chop that off and re-put it down. But the first time I did it, I took a lot longer to do while I was kind of figuring out how it was gonna work, and I wound up hitting it with a hairdryer like right after I just kind of stuck it down there and then hit it with a hairdryer, and the hair, like, it was hot enough that it kind of like made it kind of like melt to my fingers. So that is also an option of something you can do. I would suggest if you are doing more than, oops, not to drop a strip on the seat. But if you are doing more than one nail out of a strip, that you, I'm gonna need just a little, so pink, 2 pinks, that you cut the strip in half. And when you cut the strip in half, you're gonna do it before you take anything off, okay? So you're not taking off the clear coat on the front, and you're not taking off the clear coat or the white thing in the back. You are literally just cutting the strip in half, and then that way the other half of the strip is not drying out while you are waiting on it, or while you're working on the other half. And there is, I know this clear coat's like super impossible to get off, and that is definitely a thing, but I have a little trick. It's called tape. Doesn't have to be packing tape, that's just all the tape I have. But basically what I do with my tape is after you put it on your nail, okay, you won't be able to fold it over or anything like that because that clear coat's on. But if you take a piece of tape and you stick it on top and you peel it off, it will actually peel off. If you can see, it's really hard to see, but you can see the clear coat right here. It will pull that clear coat right off, and then you'll be able to finish pressing the nail down and break it off, which is pretty neat, if you ask me. So if you ever forget and are having difficulties because you left that clear coat on, just use tape. Okay. So this should be maybe my last one. I might have to do one more. I'll do one more. What color should that be? That should be green. Okay. And then I will show you guys how to do the rest. So again, if you can see, I am literally just cutting little teardrop shapes out of my set and then peeling off the back and then flipping it upside down. Okay, that's the key. Make sure it's upside down because we're working from the bottom of the strip. Okay, and I will show you guys a close-up. So that is what that looks like. Okay, and let's check it out from the back. That's my back view of it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel off the protective layer and move it to the side. I don't need it anymore. And I also don't need this little tab. So I'm gonna peel that away as well. I might have to cut it because I did put some other strips on top that have already kind of cured to it. Did let me peel it away. And now I have all this little extra strips, right? But what I'm gonna do is, oop, not that, come here. I am going to cut them away. Okay, like literally just trim up the side of the nail. Like I'm going right along the side of the nail. And I'm just removing all of that excess polish. Kind of take a look at it from the front. Don't just rely on it from the back. So see, that still needed a little bit of trimming up right in there. Let's kind of make it nice and pretty since I am putting it on top of the purple. Okay, now my nail does need a tiny bit of stretch on this side, and when I say a tiny bit, I do mean just a tiny. So I give my nails a little stretch before I put them on. And then I'm gonna come over here and just put my nail on just like I normally would. Okay, and you can kind of see what I mean, how it's kind of like started to dry out a little bit. It's still pliable because I did that fast enough. But the first time that I put that on, it was like stiff. So hitting it with the hairdryer definitely helped. And then of course, you know, I did just do this nail, so I am not going to use that to break it off. I am going to go ahead and fold my nail all the way down and wrap it, the tip, all that excess right there. And then I will be breaking it off using my cuticle pusher upside down. Okay, so normally you can of course just use your fingernail, but since I did just apply this one right before, so pretty neat, huh? Super simple to get crazy art designs with Color Street, especially with all these amazing overlays that we're coming out with. You could do this with one of the pet ones and make the pets different colors. You could do it with Spot On with the leopard one and give it kind of like fun leopard color design, not leopard colors, but like with the neons. I think that would be amazing. I might probably do that next. But definitely some really amazing fun designs that you can easily come up with just by adding a little bit of color to the back of your clear overlays before applying them. If you guys enjoyed these helpful tips and tricks, please like my channel and subscribe and follow me, Tiffany's Nail Babes, on Instagram. I am also on Facebook under the same title, Tiffany's Nail Babes. I would love for you guys to check it out, and on Pinterest as well under Tiffany's Nail Babes. Again, like and subscribe if you found this helpful.